Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Barriers, the mental health podcast. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Camila.
And today, it's just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
And we're going to talk about something that continues to come up in our circle of friends, in my circle of mom friends. And that topic is, when do you let go of someone, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship? When is it time to let go and embrace change?
And letting go, it doesn't necessarily have to be something bad. Something is something that we need to come to terms with and accept. That letting go, it's something necessary for your personal growth and for your own mental health.
Exactly. And, your own mental health. So sometimes, right, we have people in our lives that we love and we love them and we adore them. And, we have all these memories that we've created with that person, right? Whether it's a friendship or, like I said, a romantic relationship. But then something happens where there's a change and you start to change yourself. Mm-hmm. You're no longer yourself anymore. You find that you have to walk on eggshells around that person. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of like masking your authentic self. Yeah. And I don't know,
that's, to me, a red flag. That's one of the first signs that I would say when it's time to start letting go of someone or a relationship that doesn't serve you. Because the main purpose of having a friendship or a romantic relationships are here to nurture you, right? Mm-hmm. You're supposed to confide in that person. You're supposed to trust that person. And when they don't let you advance or they hold you back, that's the first sign.
Holding you back. Or these are the types of people, this is another sign. These are the types of people that when you have achieved a goal, they're not necessarily there in your corner. They're not cheering you on. They're actually kind of downplaying your wins, or there's almost like a component of jealousy, right? Yes. They're almost like, yes. Well,
that's the first thing that comes to mind. They want to see you do better than them. Sorry, they want to see you do good, but never better than them.
Never better than them.
And that's sad.
That is sad because, I find that another red flag, actually, that I don't want to forget, and I tend to call these people emotional vampires.
Oh.
Yes, these are the people in your life that feed off of your energy. They drain you. You find that after an interaction with that person, you feel mental fatigue. You feel drained. They have sucked the life out of you.
The way that I want to see is that sometimes maybe they're dealing with something their own and they're dwelling into that negativity. And that's when you feel being drained because you're just listening to them and complaining. It's just exhausting.
Yeah. And these are the type of people that they're never held accountable, right?
Oh,
they take no accountability for their own actions. They don't necessarily apologize. Like when you go to them and you're like, you know what? I feel that what you said to me hurt me.
Yeah.
But they're like, don't take it. Why do you have to take it like that? Or
they don't give value to your thoughts or whatever you're feeling.
Your emotions.
So I hope that by this time on the episode, our listeners already have that person in mind that they can say, oh, I know who. And to me personally, I have become very good at identifying those people now. But that wasn't the case with me personally at all before. We're talking...
Me neither.
I started to setting my boundaries real quick.
You're so good at that. You're so much better at that than I am.
Yes.
Definitely, you are really good at setting boundaries. And I've learned that from you, that it is healthy to set boundaries and keep people sometimes at an arm's distance,
You don't always have to say yes. You don't always have to say no just to, to better someone's situation. But what about you? You need to set those boundaries, especially when you're a mom, where you're dealing with your own situations.
Yeah.
You also need help sometimes. So it is okay to set the boundaries. You have to.
And prioritize yourself. And I think that that's so key, right? When we are letting go of a relationship, whether it's, like I said, or like we said, a romantic relationship or a friendship, you know, you have to grieve that relationship. Grieve it because it's in a sense it's over.
Yeah.
But then prioritize yourself and do things for yourself. How you're gonna,
I love that you say about grieving, because for me, when any relationship that I've ended or that has ended in my life, I do see it as a loss, like
it hurts,
like as bad as someone passing away. Because when you, at least when I say hasta aquí,
hasta aquí, y ya no más.
And with it, I understand that it comes, okay, not talking to this person, setting the boundary, whether that includes blocking, but you also have to say goodbye to everything from that person. If it's a past relationship, you have to say goodbye to their family. If it's a friendship, you have to say goodbye to their families too, because with friendship, you become part of the family. So to me, that's why before getting to that stage, I rather, okay, this is happening. I try to fix it. I try talking. The person doesn't learn. I set my boundary. Sorry.
Yeah. And I like how you said, you try to fix it and you have to ask yourself, is this relationship worth fighting for? And is it still bringing value to my life? And if not, then at that point you say, okay, I have to prioritize myself, my own emotions, my own feelings, my mental health and well-being, and move forward, move in the direction that you want to take your life.
And how do you do that when it's a coworker, but it's also a friend? How do you separate one or the other?
I find that when you start to prioritize yourself and you have that growth mindset and you start to really put yourself first, people that have been these emotional vampires, they don't like this new person.
Right.
They want to keep that because that's who they're comfortable with, that old friend, right? And so they almost start to distance themselves because they can't relate to this new version of you.
Right.
And they want to just, I don't know.
It's I know what you're saying. To me, the way I see it, there's two type of people. That's how you know which one is the toxic one, which one is the good one. As you move in life, there's people are going to celebrate you and they want to see you thrive. That it doesn't matter if you don't text or talk on a daily basis. When you reconnect, it's
my God, it's like no time has passed.
And they're genuinely happy for you. And you can tell. So that's another sign when you know who's genuine and who is not.
Something that I don't want to forget to mention because it has helped me in my own life, my own personal experience when I had a friendship that meant a lot to me, but unfortunately our lives were going in different directions. I forgave her. I forgave her for not necessarily being there for me in one of the hardest times of my life. Which is what helped me to see that maybe the friendship wasn't what I thought it was or what I would have wanted it to be. But I had to forgive her for myself in order to move on. I remember there was a time where I said, you know what, this friendship is over, but I forgive her for, not giving me what I needed when I was in a really dark time in my life. And that's it. I think that that's what really helped me move forward.
That's great. That's great. I wish I could be as forgiving. It's not that I don't forgive, it's that I don't forget. Part of my boundary is if you did me wrong and you don't accept that you did wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not going to forgive. If you do show some sort of sign of remorse, okay, and you come to me, we talk it out, you can understand that, I appreciate you coming.
Which is something that you just went through recently.
Yes, I did. So to give you a little bit of a backstory, okay, on a side note, I have good and bad memory. I have selective memory. So sometimes either the good things and the bad things that happen to me, I forget, not because I intend to, but because once it happened, I try to move on. And I guess it's a self-defense mechanism. I don't know, but in order for me to move on, se me olvida. So recently I did have a situation where someone that was close to me created a situation completely wrong towards my character, towards me. And, this person took an entire week to say sorry. But that was fine. It didn't took me. It didn't stop me from sleeping good at night. I didn't do anything. I didn't retaliate. I just set my boundary since the moment that it happened, the incident. And my incident was, okay, this is whatever is happening. It's not true. I'm not okay with it. So I'm just going to pull back. That's how I react. So I did that. That person tried multiple times. I said, you know where I stand. Nothing's going to change unless, you come forward and we have a conversation about it. So this person did. And I appreciated the honesty. And if there's something that I'm good at too, is I'm able to tell when someone is lying or not. Or I will...
When they're being fake.
Yes.
Or when they're not being genuine.
And, I understood. I said, thank you for letting me know. We're good. Everything is okay. But my boundary is still there. You have proven to me the kind of person that you are, which is okay. I understand that you're dealing through your own things, and that's okay. But I'm not a punchback. If it's something that I have, one of my boundaries that I am not going to accept other people's behaviors because they're going through something. To me, that's not acceptable because everybody's dealing through something.
Everybody's going through their own internal struggle.
Yes. And like I said, I'm a very understanding person. I understood. I said, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here, but our relationship is not going to be the same moving forward.
And you set those clear boundaries.
Absolutely. And I'm still going to be polite and respectful, but it's just I'm not going to open my life for you anymore.
But what I'm hearing is you set the boundaries, but in addition to that, you forgave her, which let go of, you're not carrying the stress of it. You're not carrying the anxiety of it, so in your way, you forgave her and now you've set your boundaries. And I think that is so important in order for you to move forward.
That's the only thing that helps me. Again, I like to sleep good at night. I don't do wrong by other people. I can only control what I do. And if I know that what I'm doing is the right thing and I'm not hurting anybody, I'm okay. I'll be okay.
So that being said, I want to circle back, right? How do we know, when those red flags that we spoke about, right? When you start to see those red flags, and think about your own life right now. Think about your mom, a sibling, a neighbor, a coworker, a romantic relationship, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, a husband, wife, that is kind of presenting these different red flags. And, it's okay, as we just heard from you, to set clear boundaries. Boundaries are healthy.
Yes. But boundaries, you need to stick to those boundaries because otherwise that is giving them a sign that they can do whatever they want with you because you say something and you don't stick by it.
Yeah. So setting clear boundaries, prioritize yourself.
Yes.
Make sure that, you are really taking care of yourself, of your mental health, because we know that sometimes these relationships, like I said before, these are emotional vampires. These are life forces. They're draining us. They kind of leave you feeling fatigued mentally. And
they drain you. They literally
drain you. And so it's important that you prioritize yourself and have these coping mechanisms in place, whether it's self-care or, like we've said in other episodes, we've talked a lot about meditation. We've talked about yoga. We've talked about prayer, the power of prayer. All of these different things are going to help you get through this.
Absolutely. And it's good to have a good group of friends or your family because of the energy, right?
I'm so lucky I have you.
I am so lucky to have you. Thank you. That means a lot. I think that, and I was having this conversation too with a friend of my boyfriend's actually. I don't know why that day I was inspired. I gave him full-blown therapy and it all came down to be surrounded by the right people. Because it is okay in life. You're going to grow. You're supposed to grow. You're not supposed to stay being the same person forever. Okay? You just need to have that understanding that as you change, you grow with your relationship, with your partner. You're supposed to grow together. You have your own journey. He has his own journey, but you're growing together. And when people grow apart because they're different stages in their lives, some people start having kids, others are not ready for kids, others are focusing on their career. It's okay not to be on the same stage. That doesn't mean that the relationship is any better or any worse. But when you have someone that is supporting you, that is there for you no matter what,
Right.
you just thrive in life.
It's interesting because I just saw an Instagram post where somebody said, there are people out there that are going to support you and are going to cheer for you because it's you.
Yes.
And there are people that are not going to support you and not going to cheer you on because it's you. So find your people.
Find your tribe.
Find your tribe. Find the people that are going to support you, that are going to cheer you on.
And watch your life change completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
Watch yourself level up because you're going to level up.
Yeah. And then the same thing. Everything that we put into our minds becomes reality. Everything that we have around, even at some point in life, someone thought, let me create a mug. Or let me create anything. And they did it. So if you want to create anything, just set your mind into it.
Yes. I'm so happy that we've talked about this today because you have reminded me that setting clear boundaries is something actually healthy. It's healthy to set boundaries.
Absolutely. And I want our listeners to know a little bit about our personalities and how well we complement each other. Is that Lizzy, here where you see her, she brings people together. She trusts people so blindly that I get anxiety sometimes and I need to set those boundaries for her and remind her sometimes, because you cannot change who you are in your nature, but you can become a little bit more aware.
Yes. Yes. And I feel that because of you and having you in my life, I've become more self-aware of that. And I think that that's so important because I like you said, I was very trusting, sometimes almost blindly.
Too blindly. As for me, I'm kind of the opposite. I was super trusting in others, but as my experiences went on, I had to become this version that I just go to the point. I don't sugarcoat it. I just say it as it is. And some people may take that as
I love that about you.
Thank you. I'm a bitch. But it's okay. I've come to terms to accept the fact that I'm going to be the villain in someone's story, but I know who I am, and the people that love me know who I
love
am.
you. That's right.
So cheers to that.
Cheers to that, and cheers to another amazing episode. I feel like it was amazing because
I love it. I
love when you and me just talk.
All the time.
Not that I don't love our guests.
We love our guests.
But I love when it's just the two of us.
Yes, ma'am.
So for all of you listening right now, thank you guys for engaging with us on this journey, and really, your time, your energy, because we know that it does take time out of your busy schedules to listen to these podcasts. But in order to continue, we ask you to please follow, like, subscribe on all of our social media platforms. You can listen to these podcasts on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on YouTube as well.
And we want to know your feedback. Let us know what other topics you want us to talk about, any challenges that you have for us, any questions, anything that you're dealing with and maybe you want advice on. We're here for you. So
the Instagram
is Breaking Barriers, the podcast.
Again, it's Breaking Barriers, the podcast. And thank you guys for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.